Good morning. Hello, lovely. How are you? Hope you are having a fab Thursday. Welcome to this week's live recording of the Awakened Woman podcast. For everyone that is listening, hello. Good to have you here. My name is Claire Burt. I'm a confidence coach here at Inspired Lifestyles, the creator of the Awakened Woman podcast and the creator of the Confident Woman. I'm in the business of helping women find their confidence so that they build a really rock solid foundation and start showing up in that confident version in their romantic relationships, as a mother, as a really present mother, and in their careers, so that they know what they really want out of life. They are not willing to compromise, and they are willing to make themselves a priority. That is the business that I am in. I have had a varied career, so I'm coming in doing something now that I get to really, truly love. So thank you all for joining me as I get set up here. Really excited. We've got a great topic for today. So welcome to episode 16 of series 2. We are live through Instagram at the moment, and we are streaming on all podcast platforms as well. So today's topic is something that I think every single woman will hit a nerve with. Every single woman will resonate with. Every single woman will realize and need to take responsibility in how this is showing up in all of their lives. Now, what I'm talking about is not so much a behavior but perhaps perfectionist. So today we are talking about being paralyzed by perfection. If this is sounding something like you, then please make sure you copy and share this. If you're watching on Instagram, please tag a friend and let me know your comments as you're playing along. This is a live coaching session, so feel free to answer or ask any questions and I will come as well. But episode 16, paralyzed by perfection. Now, this may sound quite drastic, but at some point in our lives, we have to let go of the idea of what is perfection. Why are you holding off on a dream? Why are you holding off on an idea, a relationship, a movement, a job, a career? Why are you holding back on what could be for you? Because you're waiting for the right moment. You're waiting for the right time. You're waiting for it to be absolutely perfect. Have all your ducks in a row before you pull the trigger and create this life that you've lived. Now, what will happen is that will often take many, many years, and we may even get to the age of 50 or 60, or if you're like me, age of 40, and you realize, is this what I really want to do? Is this something that I can do for the next 40 years of my life? And when you stop looking at it from a perfectionist view, you are not chasing gold stars anymore, ladies. You do not need gold stars to reinforce to you who you are, what you bring, your worth. You start to live a little bit more presently and you take a few more risks. Now, taking a few more risks means that maybe you're spontaneous. Maybe you've looked at your diary and you and your husband have got a crazy 6 weeks ahead, that there's a long weekend coming up at the end of this, and then you're going to book an impromptu holiday for 4 days with the kids, pull them out of school and live a little. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's learning what's tied into your perfectionism. Is it procrastination? Is it self-doubt? Are you OCD? What is it that is holding you back? Why are you waiting for the idea of perfection? Now, what happens when we wait in the idea of perfection? Okay, we are just existing. Now, if you followed along the last few weeks, I know I have been talking about living and existing as a woman, and I think we exist so much of our lives and we get to a point where we're 40, 50, 60 and we go, I want to live. But we just don't know what that means for us. We've incorporated everyone else's favorites that we actually don't know what a favorite of ours is. We don't know what it means to be us. And when we lose, that's what it is when we lose ourselves. We give so much that we forget what it is to be us in a relationship. And our kids may grow up and move out, and then we're here thinking, what is my life now? So this is where it's really important as we juggle our roles as wives, partners, mothers, workers, and women, that what practices and what actions do we have? What habits are we incorporating into our life each and every morning and day that is not serving the future version of us? What do we want to do? And then it comes back to a point of, can I do this for the rest of my life? For the next 40 years of my life, am I willing to procrastinate, to be a perfectionist, to chase the gold star, to avoid having the conversations, to avoid moving on, to avoid setting a boundary, to avoid chasing a dream, to avoid having a go because it's not the right time, you don't have the money. What will people think of me? What am I going to learn about me? Okay, so if you've ever thought about changing something in your life, you will have this initial excitement and butterfly, and that is your intuition saying go for it. And then immediately your head will kick in, and your head is going to say, yeah, but you're not ready. You're not good enough. What is your husband going to think? What are your partner going to think? What are your kids going to think? Who's going to judge you for doing one of those things? You've never done it before. You don't know enough people. So when you sit there and you think and you get excited about what could be, then the head kicks in. We wait. We wait until go to the gym until we've lost some weight. We wait to make new friends because I'm an introvert. We wait to get to the bottom of the self-sabotaging actions and behaviors we have because we need to understand it first. There is nothing that you need to understand. You just need to try, and the understanding comes with the trial and error. So that is where you are being paralyzed by your perfection. Okay. Why do I know this? Because I am sitting here with a book that has got, or a page that has all of my to-do list for today. It is messy. It is not in order. And I'm sitting here thinking I need to rewrite that list because it's not perfect. I can't start my day because the list isn't perfect. Okay. Because in my head, I think this is all too much. I've got so much going on. So the story that I'm walking into today is instead of sitting at this and going, okay, what did I number one? Let's do it. I'm sitting there thinking, I can't find number one. I'm wasting time. I'm not good enough. Okay, who's going to believe me? I have too much to do. No one's helping me. I always have to do everything on my own. I always have to do everything by myself. No one helps me. No one loves me. I'm alone. So that is the rabbit hole that you can go down to really, really quickly. And I know it sounds dramatic, but I can't be the only one that feels like this. And if you have high functioning anxiety, you are going to be having light bulb moments all over the place. That is why I created The Confident Woman, because I knew I couldn't be the only person that had this high functioning anxiety, but had to constantly feel like she was still proving herself. I've been self-employed now for 5 years, and it's been in the last 5 months that I've allowed someone else to take care of me, that I've allowed myself to go, my life does not revolve around a 9 to 5. I don't need to be chained to this desk. My job now is to live presently, to have fun, to be spontaneous, and take care of my family alongside running 2 businesses. Okay, it is no longer my job to convince myself I'm worthy of doing what I'm doing because I need to be busy. Breaking up with being busy is massive. And that is why I created The Confident Woman, because it's for high functioning, anxious women who have no idea where their confidence is, have no idea where their relationships are. Everything seems to have completely fallen apart. The kids have suddenly grown up in front of their eyes and they've missed 10 years. And they get to a point where they don't even know what their favorite color is. They don't even know what their favorite song is, because their favorite song that they thought was their favorite was actually their parents, or someone else's favorite color, or someone else's favorite movie. She's so introverted, so hidden, that she hasn't had her voice to voice of what she wants to do with her life. That is what The Confident Woman is. It helps you show up in your relationships authentically, with your kids authentically, as a woman, and to yourself, because you want to be the 80-year-old version of you who has inspired a complete generation to cheer themselves on, to back themselves, to trust themselves, especially as women. So that is what The Confident Woman is. That is why I created The Confident Woman. And we also have an offer at the moment kicking off on the 1st of June, working at 60% off for the next 8 weeks. So if this is something for you, please, if you're watching on Instagram, please DM me and we can go through the details. I can send you the codes. But it is an awareness and a responsibility and an awakening that if you are not prepared to change, that the reality you have now will be the reality you have for the next 40 years of your life. And if you are unhappy now, nothing is going to move that unhappiness. If you are struggling and scared and afraid right now, nothing is going to move those feelings because you're not willing to do what you need to do. You're not willing to do the work now that the 40 or 80-year-old version of you is screaming at you for. You're not willing to do the work now and incorporate yourself because you feel like you need to do it on your own and you feel like it's going to be really hard. Personal development is always going to be hard. It is a hard, hard industry. And the only reason that it is hard is because it's going to awaken you to take responsibility for the crap you've been telling yourself. Yeah, I'm not good enough. So the way you haven't put yourself forward, the way you didn't act in confidence, the way you didn't trust yourself, the way you didn't take a chance, the way you didn't risk it, is all going to come up for you so many ways unless you get to the while you get to the root cause of it. Now, the root cause of it could be is that you are destined to be someone that your whole family has never been before, so you feel alone. You are being a person in your lineage, in your family generation that you have never been before. No one has got a book for you to follow. Okay. And if you are a mother, let me ask you this. Remember when you brought your babies home? We didn't get a book. There was no one telling us what we had to do. We picked up the capsule, we popped them in the middle of the lounge room, we looked at them and go, okay, now what? Right? That is what personal development is. You are picking up your life story, you are placing it in the middle of the room, you are looking at it going, okay, now what? Which part do I write? Which part do I nurture? Which part do I pull up on? Which part do I hold accountable? Where am I doing that? Because that is what the essence of anything any woman should be working on in terms of self-development, personal development, confidence work, moving through your self-worth. That is the basis of what you should be doing in every single part of your modules, whoever your coach is. Okay. If you're waiting for the perfect coach, that does not exist. He or she does not exist. You're waiting for someone to do the work for you. Let me say that again. The perfect coach does not exist. You are just waiting for them to do the work for you. Because if it doesn't work, you get to blame them. If it doesn't work, it's their problem. Their program didn't work for you. Their program is amazing. They are amazing. You cannot fail at any self-development. It is you. Because you went into it half-assed. You went into it waiting for the silver bullet to fix your life. You went into it with your victim mindset. You didn't walk into it with a vulnerable mindset, a queen mindset. Okay, you didn't. Simple as that. And that is why you're holding yourself back. That is why you sit there in paralyzed by perfection. You're waiting to have people over till your house is spotlessly clean. You are waiting all the time. You are holding yourself back every single day of your life. I can guarantee that you are. And if you're not, then you're not in tune to the voices in your head. You're not in tune with the stories and the vocab and the conversations going on. Okay. Especially if you have high functioning anxiety, especially if you feel you are isolated because you get stuck in a rut. Now, I have many strategies that I use that I can help you with. And I share that in the Confident Woman. So my daily strategies as a woman who is managing multiple businesses with 2 small kids, working from home, managing housewife, wife, mum, book banker. Okay, the strategies that I use each and every single day to keep me on track. Now, that's not saying I don't have my days where I get procrastinated and I lose track and I do it. I just don't chock a block for my week anymore so that I don't have any wiggle room for those days. Okay. In the Confident Woman, I show you why resting is so important. I show you why planning is so important. I show you why taking responsibility for the way your week looks is so important. Okay. Because if you don't, you're not having time with yourself. You're not having time with your partner. You're not having time with your kids. And then resentment will build and you'll drift apart and you'll get to a point where everything is broken and it gets too hard to put together. So that is how you are holding yourself back. That is how you are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect situation, the silver platter that's diamond encrusted that someone else has written for you isn't coming. Have you heard the statement, no one is coming to save you? This is it. No one gives a damn about you more than you do. Everyone's got their stuff going on in the background. You're sitting there waiting for someone to make your life easier. That doesn't happen. You have to make your life easier. You have to take responsibility for how your life has gotten to this point, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay? You need to do that. Because if you don't do that, your existence now is here. You're not living, you are existing for the next 40, 50 years of your life in exactly where you are now. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to live? Do you want to laugh? Do you want to love? Or do you want to complain, feel resentful, be a victim? Because they're the two paths that you're on now. It is a very quick switch between the two. Like I said, the confident woman is 8 weeks, 4 sessions, 8 weeks, everything handed to you on the platter. If you're willing to rock up and be proactive and participate in these events, they're life-changing events. You want to know how? May not have run them before. This is going to be the first running of the Confident Woman. I've run many, many different ones because I've been using it over the last 12 months of what my life was like. I've rebuilt my life. I am more passionate. I am more intimate. I am more present. I am less highly strung. I am more detailed. I'm more direct. And I rest more because I know where I don't want to be. And because I know what I've had to work through all of the crap I tell myself as a woman and lay the foundations and who do I want to show up as through the Confident Woman. The Confident Woman has given me confidence to share this with everybody. The Confident Woman has given me confidence to not sweep issues under the rug. The Confident Woman has given me the confidence to show up in my relationships exactly who I want to be. And I don't really care if people don't like it anymore. I'm not here to please everybody else. I'm here to please me. I am the most important person in my life. Yeah. That is what the Confident Woman does. It gives you permission to be the most important person in your life. Because if you are the most important person in your life, you don't strive for perfection. Okay? You don't strive for perfectness and neatness and cleanliness and everything. You strive for feeling, for energy, for how you leave people, how people leave you, how you interact with people. Okay, that is what you strive for, not perfection. Because no one gives a shit about you that much. They don't. So if you've been feeling this, if you're watching this, if you're listening and you have had a light bulb as to where in areas you think you are holding back, or you have realized that, yeah, this is a pattern for me. This is how I show up. This is the effect. This is the Groundhog Day. This is the scenario that plays over and over again in my relationships as a parent. These are the arguments we have. This is the bickering we have. This is the energy we have. But I don't want that. I want more, more, more. Then please reach out. I have codes. I have websites. I have resources ready to go. You just need to be willing to ask for it. I think we get so spoon-fed for information that we get lazy and we expect it to fall to us. But I am imploring you, I do not give you everything on a platter. You need to ask for it. Confident women ask for what they want. Confident women ask for what they want. And if this is what you want, if this is the change that you want, if this is the conversation that you want, you need to reach out. Simple. Email me. DM me on this live. Comment on the podcast. Find me. It's not difficult. clareburt.com.au. Simple. So, ladies and everyone, beautiful. I hope you have had an inspiring morning listening to this chat. I hope that you feel comfort that perhaps the practices and the habits that you have in your life are not ones to be shameful of. I hope that you have realized that there is a way forward and a strategy that works for those who feel they are perfect and struggling with that, because there are, and that's what we're here for. So thank you again. I encourage you to like, I encourage you to share this when you see it, encourage you to say hi. And I really look forward to seeing you all really soon. Thanks again. And thank you for joining us on the Awakened Woman podcast. Stay tuned. We have an epic episode coming up next week. Every episode drops on Thursdays, and you can contact Claire right here by going to claireburt.com.au or search Inspired Lifestyles on Instagram.